Imagine a love that remains constant, a love that doesn't waver when the road gets rough or when people aren't at their best. Picture the kind of love that stays steady, like a lighthouse guiding ships through storms. It's easy to think of unconditional love as something found only in fairy tales, yet it's real and possible in our lives, and anyone can nurture it with just a bit of effort and understanding. We often see it as something reserved for storybook heroes or people from some magical realm, but it's something that anyone can create. Let's explore what makes unconditional love so special and how we can all embrace it to strengthen our relationships with others. Consider the bond between a parent and a child. A mother doesn't decide to love her newborn based on achievements or good behavior. When a baby cries, she doesn't think, well, if they stop crying, I'll feed them. Instead, she naturally responds, taking care of her child, giving everything without expecting anything in return. This instinctive act reflects true, unconditional love. It's a type of love that doesn't come with rules, standards, or expectations. The love we see in parents for their children is one of the best examples of love that asks nothing in return, providing a pure form of emotional generosity. And the magic is that this isn't limited to parents. It's a type of love that can also be practiced in any relationship, with friends, family, and even partners. To look at a real-life example, think of someone like Oprah Winfrey. Growing up in challenging circumstances, she faced many hardships. Yet her journey was fueled by people in her life who loved her unconditionally and inspired her to keep going. She talks about how her grandmother's love and belief in her gave her the confidence to dream beyond her environment. Oprah's life story is an example of how the love and belief of just one person, without expectation, can transform someone's path. This kind of unconditional support is what kept her motivated to pursue her dreams and achieve the success she has today. But what does it mean to practice this form of love ourselves? For many of us, relationships come with strings attached, often without us even realizing it. We might think, if they do this, I'll feel loved, or I'll support them if they achieve this. But true, unconditional love doesn't operate on a reward system. It's about offering support, compassion, and forgiveness even when things don't go our way. Instead of judging or expecting, it's about embracing, about accepting the person in front of us for exactly who they are. To some, this may sound difficult, but the irony is that it's often easier to simply love than to overthink or place expectations on someone. Take Keanu Reeves, for example. Known for his kindness and generous spirit, Reeves has experienced many personal losses and challenges, yet he treats everyone he meets with warmth and respect. People who know him say that he doesn't see others based on their wealth or fame, but rather connects with them as fellow human beings. This level of kindness and acceptance makes him one of the most beloved celebrities in Hollywood. It's a testament to how unconditional love, when we strip away expectations and simply accept people for who they are, creates a lasting impression that others won't forget. So how do we bring this into our lives? It begins by letting go of the need to control. Unconditional love is free from control because control brings conditions, rules, and requirements, whereas true love is about freedom. Think of it like a garden. Flowers won't bloom if they're forced. They need a nurturing, natural environment. In the same way, relationships thrive when we give space, respect, and kindness without trying to shape or mold the other person. Just as flowers respond to sunlight and water, people respond positively to love that is free from judgment or demands. One powerful way to practice unconditional love is by focusing on listening. In today's world, people often listen to reply, rather than to truly understand. To offer unconditional love, try listening to understand the other person's point of view. Even when you disagree, even when you don't understand, simply hearing them out without criticism creates a safe space in which love can flourish. Imagine the way Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talks about his relationship with his family. He often speaks about how he lets his daughters be themselves, encouraging them to grow without judgment. By being present, by truly listening, he shows them that they are valued, loved, and supported unconditionally. Unconditional love also involves forgiveness, not only of others but of ourselves. Often, the hardest person to forgive is ourselves, but when we embrace self-love, we begin to see the world around us with more compassion. Think of the way Will Smith speaks about forgiving himself and others. He acknowledges that he has made mistakes, but emphasizes the importance of letting go of resentment and loving himself enough to grow and become a better person. This act of self-forgiveness reflects outwardly, helping him to give that same compassion to others. When we practice self-compassion, we unlock the ability to love others fully, without resentment or hidden conditions. It's almost like we open a door to something bigger and brighter than ourselves. This is why self-love and acceptance are key. Only when we learn to love ourselves despite our imperfections can we extend the same generosity of spirit to others. And the amazing part? The more we give, the more we feel this love in return. It's as though unconditional love works in a cycle. When we freely give love, we feel fulfilled, and this happiness makes it easier to love even more. At the heart of it all, unconditional love is about presence. It's about showing up, being there, and choosing love even when it's hard. Imagine a long-term friendship, one that has weathered storms and arguments, yet remains strong because both people chose to stay committed. They didn't run away when things got hard, nor did they impose conditions like, "I'll stay if you do this." They stayed because their love was based on understanding and acceptance, not requirements or ultimatums. This is the kind of commitment that keeps relationships alive through all kinds of challenges. People often assume unconditional love is self-sacrifice, but it's the opposite. When we practice unconditional love, we feel less resentment, frustration, and judgment. We experience peace because we aren't holding on to expectations or disappointments. Imagine the feeling of simply loving without worrying about being loved back in the same way. It brings a sense of freedom that few things in life can match. And that freedom is what makes this love so rare and so cherished. To keep love unconditional, remember to value the journey of loving itself, rather than the rewards you might get from it. It's like walking down a path without needing to reach a specific destination because the beauty is in the journey itself. Instead of waiting for a reward, feel the joy that comes from giving without expecting, from accepting without judging, and from forgiving without conditions. With every moment of genuine, unconditional love, you're building something powerful, something that lasts. In the end, keeping love unconditional is about choosing to love despite life's imperfections. It's about holding on to people in their rawest forms and being there for them through their highs and lows. Just like the stars that shine brightest in the darkest skies,